Okay, so we're going to be talking about combining like terms. So your notes, combining like terms. So for an example, 7x plus 3 minus 5x plus 8 plus 4x minus 1. First thing is, let's discuss how many terms we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. Okay, so they're all called terms. So we have 6 terms. We can even break that down more by saying how many variable terms. That's terms with a variable. Okay, terms with a variable would be, for example, let me underline them, 7x, negative 5x, notice the sign goes with that number, and 4x. Okay, let's look at something else, constant terms. So constant terms they're terms without a variable. So terms without a variable. They would be 3, 8, and this negative 1. And let's go over one more thing. Let's talk about coefficients. So a coefficient, and I know we went over these before, but we need to make sure. It's the number next to a variable. So let's take a look at these. Let's say 7, right? Negative 5, and 4. And don't forget, this is called an expression. Okay, so now we're going to simplify that expression. And when we simplify an expression, we're going to simplify it by combining like terms. So we're going to look at the ones that have the variable in it. So there's a 7x. Remember, you're going to circle the sign in front of that number. So now when we take 7x and we minus 5x, we get 2x plus 4 more x's gives us 6x. Okay? And now we're going to look at the constants. So we have a positive 3 plus 8 minus 1, which would give you 10. Okay, that's the horizontal method. There's another method we can do, and it's called the vertical method. I'll show you that also. I'm going to use the same one. And show you the other way to do this. So the other way to do this is you make just different columns. So I'm going to take the 7x. Okay, so that's done. And now I see a constant, so this is a plus 3. So I'm going to say this is a positive 3. That's done. Now I'm on this term right here. It says negative 5x. So I'm going to put it under this term because it looks like that one. Then I'm going to take this plus 8. And then this plus 4x. And then I have my negative 1. And when I add this column up, I get 7x minus 5x plus 4x gives us 6x. And now we have a plus 3 or positive 3 plus 8 minus 1 gives us plus 10. So they're both different ways to do it, but you're going to see you get the same answer. Okay, so I loaded a handout. You don't have to copy the handout. As you can see, I just wrote down the problems. So let's look at number 1. So now we have 3x plus 6x. So when we simplify this expression, all we're doing is combining like terms. So we have 3x plus 6x gives us 9x. Okay, let's try number 4. I'm going to go down the left-hand column. we have 9 minus 6x plus 5. Okay, but take the one with the variable first. So now we have a negative 6x, and I don't see any other like terms. So I have negative 6x, and then we have a positive 9 plus 5 gives us 14. Number 7, 5x squared plus 7x squared. Okay, so now we're going to look at this variable. It's an x, and so is this one, and it's raised to the second power, and so is this one. So these are called like terms. So when they're like terms, just like the other ones, you add the coefficients. So 7 plus 5 gives you 12x squared. Let's look at number 10. So we have 8x to the third minus 7x to the third plus 16x to the third. Every single variable is an x raised to the third power. So they're all like terms. So we're going to say 8 minus 7 plus 16. 17x to the third. Let's look at number 13. Number 13, we have a squared plus 7ab minus 10ab plus b squared. So now I see an a, then I see an a squared, and then I see an ab, then I see a 10ab, and I also see a b squared. So let's do, the first thing we want to do is, remember there's a coefficient in front of this. If you have to put it in there, put it in there. There's always a coefficient of 1 if nothing else is there. So we have the 1a squared. I don't see any other a squared, so I'm going to say a squared. Okay. And now I'm going to look at my ab's. So I have a positive 7ab minus 10ab. So 7 minus 10 is negative 3ab. And then here's my other one. It's a positive b squared. Notice I'm just doing different shapes so you can. And some people like to cross them out as they combine them. And others just underline. So it's any strategy you want, just as long as you make sure you're adding the right terms. Number 15, this is find the perimeter. So remember the formula for perimeter is add all sides, basically as you walk around the figure. So I'm not very good at drawing, you'll see that. And we have 2x plus 1. And we have an x over here, and then we have 3x here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to combine the like terms. So we have 2x plus 1 more x plus 3x. So that's 2, 3, 6x. And then the plus 1. Okay, so for homework, I want you to finish the rest of the problems that I did not do, and I'll see you in class.